what it mean to be the best. Riding foes, feeling unimpressed, make me reminisce. Throwing bows, bend the corner, set my mind up on the goal. All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the goal. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. I ain't gotta say much. Know the boy got a touch. Another win for the rush. Another win for the rush. See me once and got a crush. See you twice and that's enough. Get the ring sized up.
What's up? Welcome in to Tell the Truth Show Truth Wednesdays. As it is, the Chiefs have made some acquisitions. Officially, we don't have to wait for anything as far as the temporary legal tampering period in which certain people can back out of deals, even though they have been agreed upon. Yeah. No, we are signed, sealed, and ready. Yeah. Kenneth Walker is yours, Kansas City, as the Chiefs have a brand new starting running back. DG, CJ, how you doing, my guys?
Yo, we moving to a new season, huh? Mm-hmm. The page is officially turned. New season starts today, so no more out with the old, in with the new.
A lot of new faces and new places.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. So good things. So far, so good for me.
Don't you miss that Sports Center segment? New faces, new places. I love that. I don't know. That just made me think of it.
Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely. So with that being said, we can go ahead and get into it. Of course, the headliner is Mr. Kenneth Walker coming to Kansas City. 3-year deal to get Kenneth Walker, this reigning Super Bowl MVP from the Seattle Seahawks. And it was interesting, the fact that this was, of course, the biggest and first move that ultimately came down as expected. The Chiefs chasing, that number one running back right out the gate as far as free agency was concerned, and ends up getting 3 years, essentially kind of 14 and change a year, 14.25 as far as average annual value, 28.7 ultimately guaranteed dollars. And look, I think that it's not a surprise what ultimately ends up happening here. I mean, the reality is the Chiefs needed a running back, and they went out and got the best one on the market. And I know Etienne's very good. I would not say that he's a better player than Kenneth Walker, even though I think that he was a good fit. But you understand why Brad Reach was going out and shopping at the top of the market as far as this was concerned. CJ, DG, how you guys feel about it, man?
Initially was ecstatic, man.
Thanks.
Definitely. I guess I wouldn't say I was surprised, just because the way Veach kind of talked at the combine. He kind of expressed that this was going to be the route that we were going to go as far as getting more explosive at that position. And I mean, what better way to go do that than to go get one of the top guys on the market? A guy who I feel like, especially last year, last playoffs, and these last playoffs was sensational for the Seattle Seahawks. They don't win that Super Bowl without Kenneth Walker, and especially in the way he played in that particular game. But yeah, man, you needed a change at that position. No disrespect to any of the guys that was here before, but then, they're not giving you the same dynamics that Kenneth Walker can bring to you: the wiggle, the explosiveness, the pass catching ability out of the backfield, and just the chance and opportunity to really change the dynamic of what this offense can really do, and what defenses can especially do against you. So I'm glad to have him here, man. Can't wait to see all the K9 shirts and Arrowhead at night and things of that nature. I think he's gonna have a huge following here, and I think people are really gonna love watching him play in the Chiefs uniform.
No, for sure. I think he needs to get his own type of fan signature. We did like Drew for Drew Tranquil, Leo for Leo Chenal, or Juju. Maybe we need to do like a dog bark for K9. I don't know, something cool.
Yeah,
obviously. Probably whenever he gets a first down, I don't know, something, fans are going to come up with something for him. I love everything about Kenneth Walker. explosive player.
I like the Juju more so, like the Juju.
It flows with the names. It flows with the names. The Juju one was cool. I wish we would have got him when he was younger, but whenever he did make a play, we love Juju for sure. But no, everything DG said, I agree with. Kenneth Walker's an explosive running back. We needed it desperately, badly. This is probably the most explosive running back we've had since, all due respect, Damian Williams from 2021 or rookie year Kareem. We all know the stats of how bad our run game has been from a yards per carry standpoint and an explosive standpoint from 10 plus yards. So this was desperately needed. So if you think it's an overpay, whatever the case may be, it's not an overpay for a guy like him when the situation is just dire. So Kenneth Walker is a great back. Obviously, he's had some, I guess, from like a con standpoint, a couple of nicked up injuries when his time in Seattle. And maybe they were trying to save him this past year by pulling him a lot on the goal line, i.e. Charbonnet getting a lot of the goal line carries. But from a talent standpoint, Kenneth Walker does everything you want him to do. Great vision, an explosive back. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So not too many weaknesses out of his game, honestly, that you can really point out. He was 25, like DMac stated. So whatever the price point was, you got to pay it. So this is the guy that was the number one guy in the market. He played extremely well in the Super Bowl, better than I thought he was going to do. I kind of undersold him going into that game. I thought, because New England hadn't given up a 100-yard rusher all year up to that point, if I wasn't mistaken. So I thought he would have a decent game. He had 100 yards by halftime. So I was actually, in credit to the Seattle offensive line, they dominated up front. You don't run the ball that well without guys dominating. But he had a lot of great explosion, a lot of great vision. And he showed a lot of great, character going out there and carrying the workload for those 3 weeks he had to without Charbonnet after he tore up his ACL. So, no, he showed he can carry the load in big moments when he needs to, when his numbers call the most. And we need guys like that because we know all of our games essentially feel like playoff games. Every game we play in is like the Super Bowl for someone else. So a guy like that showing up in the biggest moments tells you not only is he a good player talent-wise, but he's built for the moment up here. So I love that about him, and I think it's a good addition to the team for sure.
Yeah, look, I'm excited to have him here. I think that the acceleration that he comes with, the acceleration that he brings to the table, the patience, I think the vision is really good. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily make the best decision with the vision, and I say that from the standpoint of, he wants to cut it back sometimes. That does end up happening and get him into trouble with some negative runs, but I think there are ways that our offensive line and the way that we need to run the ball specifically helps to mitigate that, and the way that Eric Bieniemy and DeMarco Murray can coach him up as far as that aspect is concerned. The pass catching out of the backfield, I think, is good. It's not necessarily difference making, but it's better. And certainly for taking advantage of the space created, whether it's screens or, kind of flat things. And certainly he can give you an angle route out the backfield too. That's the big part of it for me as far as that's concerned. So I'm happy to have him. I'm happy to have what he brings to the table. I'll go ahead and do you guys want to just jump into the tape, or you got anything else you want to kind of jump in on? I will also mention. Go, DG, you want to say something?
Oh no.
Okay. I'll also say just real quick. I know when people are making the point of like, hey, Kenneth Walker doesn't deserve to get top 5 running back money. I understand it's free agency. Let's get something clear as far as this is concerned. Kenneth Walker is only going to be top 5 in running back free agency money, which right now he's at like 4th for about a few more months. Jameer Gibbs is going to jump.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson is going to jump him. And I didn't even realize this. Devin Achane has been in the league.
Devin Achane's going to get a bag as well.
Jump him too. Yeah. So like those 3 guys, and be quite frankly, I think there's another. And then Breece Hall's on
Breece Hall, he got tagged. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped him too. Exactly. So there are going to be guys that are going to be resetting the top of this running back market that he's going to be pushed out of the top 5 regardless. So and people understandably reacted to the price tag, and I get it. I do get it. But I think that you're talking about the margins as far as overpaying for certain positions versus others, where Jalen Phillips was a guy that I've been comfortable with giving $15 to $18 million, and he got 30.
Blew it out the water.
Got like Odafe Owe or what you saw Mafe. The margins are different compared to a running back who ideally you get paid $12 million a year. It's getting 14. Like that's
crazy.
So that's the thing for me, that I don't mind the margins. But let's go ahead and jump into the tape. And so I want to roll through his runs against the Texans because I want to look at what he did versus good run defenses. Run defenses specifically. We're going to look at the Texans runs. We're going to look at the Rams runs, and then I want to look at some of the things he did receiving wise in the postseason as well. And And a lot of things that you'll notice throughout this tape, again, you want to be able to go under center to take advantage of his abilities first and foremost. And that's really the big thing as far as that is concerned. And obviously the majority of this tape versus the Texans is going to be a lot of really good run defense because the Texans are really good at it. Well, as long as it actually shows it. That was unfortunate time.
Come on, NFL Pro, hurry.
Come on, NFL Pro, stop playing with me. There you go. Let's get it rolling. Come on now.
Another point that DMac just noted, Kenneth Walker's been in a heavy under center scheme, even going back to Michigan State days. So that's what he's best at, and I think we need to kind of cater to our players, but continue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is better running from under center, the way that he can be able to see things and use his vision accordingly. And I think it also makes him a little bit more of an efficient runner in that it's not necessarily so much as the cutback lanes. It's like, hey, we know where you're headed. Go ahead and direct you accordingly as far as that's concerned. Good job by Seattle on this play, run blocking wise. Wouldn't necessarily credit Kenneth Walker for a lot of those yards too, but just want to be able to give you guys a flavor of what it kind of looks like down to down as far as that's concerned too. And they did run it out of the gun. You know, we saw some of the draw plays, saw some of the counters, some of the outside zones out of the shotgun as well. It's just not necessarily, obviously, how I prefer to run the ball. It's more so about the under center stuff to set up the rest of your offense, which Seattle did very well under Mr. Kubiak, who's now, of course, the Raiders head coach. And that one he kind of tried to bounce, but it was blown up in the backfield by EJ Speed here. 45 immediately gets in his face, and honestly, Walker does a good job of sidestepping him. But of course, Will Anderson Jr., who is a complete monster, gets off the tight end block, and him and Ramsey are able to kind of get him down too. So
both tight end mistake block him and AJ Barnes.
Both tight ends on that one. Which again, this is the point we're looking at the best run defense that he faced all year. And I'm specifically doing so because I think it's again, we want to see what happens in the most adverse situations. Seattle, of course, was one of the heaviest, or one of the teams that faced the most frequent, I should say, heavy boxes as far as box counts from the defense is concerned. And the Chiefs were one of the biggest ones that had light boxes as far as that aspect, which is the big thing moving forward of saying, hey, we're going to be able to get under center and run in more advantageous situations compared to what you face in Seattle as far as that aspect as well. Pretty good job. Was that Tim Settle?
Mm-hmm.
72. Yeah, no, that was Togi. Did a really good job on that center being able to stay with them. But we'll talk about a nose tackle that's pretty good at what Togi just did there in the middle too, in a little bit. Yeah, Max, I would like to see us to be top 15 as far as under center usage as well. Also, it's kind of tough going through this tape and just not lauding the Texans defense because
bro, they literally just
I have to go back to this. Jalen Petrie looks
just
like
flew
a
across the screen
with watch number 5, people. Look at number 5.
Come here. Petry's a dog.
That's what it looks like when you have one of the best
defense is full of dogs.
They literally, and it's kind of ironic them playing in Seattle because we all watched the Legion of Boom for years. They literally line up in like single high and just say, "Bro, line up and play." Like you're not gonna go over the top on us, so you're gonna run the ball. We're gonna stop you. So
gonna roll back a little bit here. Since the left side is going to be the way that he wants to go and just finishes right through that, kind of that to get the 6 yards there. Mm-hmm. Keep getting those positive yards. And again, when it's blocked up for him, he's going to take advantage. And that's the biggest thing as far as that aspect is concerned. I think that we have one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. We have to utilize them accordingly, of course. But I want to see us, take advantage of the talent that we have up front, where Seattle's interior offensive line was lacking a little bit outside of Grace Abel, of course. But yes, Chuck correctly points out we're seeing a lot of under center, seeing a lot of being able to have
pull, Nick, right?
Snap.
I like that one.
Yep.
This was a really rough game against for the Seattle offensive line.
Well, yeah,
it was like nowhere to run.
And then when he does slightly break the first MDG, there's like a defender right there in front of him. So it's a good group, man. They're fast and they play physical. So
it's a really good group.
This is rough.
Tough sledding for sure.
I know he was definitely feeling some bumps and bruises after this.
Man, I feel bad for these tight ends. Every time I look at them, they getting thrown around.
Dang.
AJ Barner, Nick Barnett, Elijah Roy, all of them. They tried their best, but you trying to block D ends with tight ends, coach. I know we want to, but that ain't a good matchup.
The quarterbacks is flying to the ball, man. Like,
I mean, and the fact that he doesn't give up right there, it's still able to shake free, and then nope, still got
that. Every time we look at Nick Barnett, you're looking at the back. Derek Barnett. That's not good.
I do want to kind of speak to that. That is a different element that I think that he brings to this team that we haven't had in the past couple of years. Is a guy that, you know, even if there is some gap penetration or things of that nature, he's got enough wiggle in his game, like right here. That's perfect example where he can make somebody miss in the hole, bounce into the outside, and convert what usually in our offense is probably a 2-yard gain into an 8-yard gain.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm happy that he'll be able to bring that kind of element to this run game, and I think it'll really expand what this offense can really do, because we all know how much Andy Reid loves to run halfback draw. And you just recently you haven't had the guys with enough wiggle to be able to do that and do it at a high level of success. So I know that Kenneth Walker coming here and being able to provide things like this will definitely help.
Yeah, this right here is the ability then to not only know where the hole is going to open up as far as vision is concerned to get out of here, because this run is pretty well bottled up, and obviously 39 is coming down. You got the edge set. You're in a pretty good spot as far as a run defense is concerned, but he puts his foot in the ground here and just accelerates outside quickly enough that he makes the man miss. Is able to turn this into an 8-yard gain because of that, and then finishes through Derek Stingley as well. On top of that, because he has the power to do so. So that's a really good indication of how Kenneth Walker has the ability to take nothing and turn it into something in a way that, you know, no Chiefs running back has, to say the least.
Yeah, it's going to be really great, especially with how much outside zone that the Chiefs actually like to do, and being able to use his explosion to get into that edge and his cutback ability to, you know, create plays kind of out of nothing. And then I think this is another good element of his game as well, too, the receiving ability that he brings you. And that the fact that once he sees open grass or anything like that, you better get on your horse, because he's definitely a guy that can outrace you to the end zone for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to get here. Another 11 personnel set. I guess we're going 21, I should say. 21 under center. Drop back. Running back draw. Really good acceleration there up the A gap.
That's how you get on the mic right there, boys.
Really good job getting nice double T bid side. Fullback going to climb to Al-Shair. And hey, we got a nice alley. And Kenneth Walker is going to explode through that right there. Right down the middle on those hashes. And turn it into a 16-yard gain. Which the Chiefs only had 3 runs of 15+ yards last year.
Yeah,
and
more than that by itself.
Mahomes. So he just had half of the Chiefs' 15+ yard runs right there.
Literally.
And then look, you can get a little
good block up zone scheme.
Little stretch zone coming in there. Really good blocking up front.
Good reach.
Nice reach to Al-Shair. Sneak right through that B gap.
Good Cooper Cup blocking Petrie.
Acceleration, get through there quickly as well.
And you just didn't.
It was holding, of course, but you
know, like I said, no disrespect to the guys that were here, but you just didn't have that kind of explosion going to the outside like that. Mm-hmm. Where, you know, this is a 17-yard gain, and you know we didn't have many of these last year.
Well, yeah, in a long time.
So that was the Texans game, and then the other one I wanted to be able to show was the NFC Championship game versus the Rams, who also were a very good run defense throughout the season, and just showed some of the things after he had really taken over the job and asserted himself as the only running back in the backfield post Zach Charbonnet's injury, how they were using him and how they wanted to maximize him as well. So get a little pistol formation. 11 personnel, quarterback draw, and again, patience, vision, being able to see the hole open up after it initially looked closed and turned into something afterwards. Oh, NFL Pro doing it again. Hold on.
Oh, here we go again.
Come on now. Here we go. Actually, I'll run that back just so we can see it again from a vision standpoint and the patience. Not to overdo it, not to just give up on it. Just try and run through your guards back. Say, hey, it's not necessarily there. Give a little nod outside. Make sure to move that second level defender to the outside of the tackle and the defensive end for that matter. Slip through this hole, get 5 yards on 1st and 10.
That's very good patience. That's obviously something that we always credit a lot for Kareem, but having a guy like that who can have that patience but also have the explosion, to DG's point, is just something we just haven't had in years. So that's a great another tool in the tool bag.
Yeah.
Good cutback. Oh, my God. Try to get G. Would have liked to see him get vertical after he crossed the linebacker's face, but I like that. He's a great. He takes chances. D-Mac's right. He's aggressive, but when he usually finds a hole, if he hits it, a big explosive player is 6. So, like, right.
And I kind of wonder if he does get the chance and opportunity to kind of be expand his role and try to become that 3-down back. I know that pass protection is not something that was of one of his skills, but it kind of makes me wonder how many third downs he actually will play with his receiving ability as well too. So,
for sure.
Yeah. I think there are certainly strides that you want to see him make in pass protection specifically to make that a viable thing, certainly. And there's also the aspect of, hey, you want to keep him fresh too. So can you bring in a day 3 running back that makes sense? Is there a free agency option out there that also makes sense? I would normally say Rashad Wright because I like him a lot. The problem is that the fact that Chris Rodriguez Jr. just got the deal he got makes me a little bit shaky on if he's going to be at the market that I necessarily would want to put it that way. But there are other guys that you could possibly be like, hey, we want to bring you in down. We feel good about you kind of working in and see where things go as well. And a guy like Keith Mitchell, who I know is an unrestricted free agent, wouldn't mind bringing him in to add to that room too. So, but yeah, we'll see. Rashad Wright, I think, would be the number one guy to just pair right now in free agency. But there are also day 3 running backs that make some sense. But wanted to show just again the acceleration because this play is blown up for where it is. Omar Spates is there. They've got an extra defender on the outside, making sure. I think is that Kobe Durant or is that that's Dejon Robinson. That's a defensive end out there. Woo-wee. And shows in the acceleration, by the way. But they got Robinson. They got Spates coming up in that B gap, making sure it's shut off. And he just, let me take this outside cut, accelerate, beat Byron Young to the pylon, and turns into a touchdown for a player.
That's amazing. Take a screenshot of where he was at before he cut. And look how many Ram defenders were in front of him. That was very impressive.
Yeah, again, like I said, it just goes to show you the wiggle that he has, especially when he sees open grass, and then his vision, his eyes. He knows that if I can get to the outside here, I can beat this guy to the corner. All I gotta do is just make this one move, and then I'll race anybody who's trying to get there, before me.
If you would have saw this picture, you probably think he doesn't score here. 4 guys around him.
The crazy part in this game is that's not even the best hesitation he had at the line.
Not even.
No, it was not.
Nowhere near. And he scored on that. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Get under center, a little 12 personnel here for the Seahawks. Sit tight in motion, bounce it out.
Yeah. I think this is ultimately what made Sam Darnold.
I love that fly motion. Yeah, I know Kubiak's in the division now. I love that motion. I know Shanahan does that with Trent Williams a lot, where he puts a guy in motion and running full speed. DNs hate getting cut blocked. They hate getting crack backed all day. When you have a guy as a tight end who's struggling with blocking, what do you offset with that DMac? Let him run full speed now instead of just trying to naturally kick him out. So if I'm AJ Barner, I've been getting my ass whooped by these DNs all day. Let me get in motion, come downhill. Now I'm bringing the fight to them. And look how much this clears up the lane for Kenny. Like, I love this adjustment from Kubiak with this. Because now everybody look at all this clutter on the ground. Kenny Walker has multiple avenues. He can go outside JSN. I can cut it up. But that just made the picture so much better because their DN's been killing your tight ends all day. So how do you offset that? And then you could play action off of that, DG. Now when I comes in motion again, you think he's going to kick out. Nope, I slip him into the flat. There's so many more things you can do when you get under center. These are the kind of things that I like about the offense with tight ends. This is what we need to get back to doing.
Yeah, that's why I said I think this ultimately is what kind of helped Sam Darnold have a really successful year. When you got a run game like this, and this is quarterback friendly, you know. You got a run game.
You don't got to think too much doing this.
Yeah. You don't have to think too much at all. So,
and these are the ways in which a running back helps out the offensive line, in that the offensive line will open up holes, but the running back has to have a certain manner of acceleration to get through them quickly. And it takes advantage of it. A slower running back, 53, is therefore there to be able to cut that off. But Walker's acceleration allows him to get past him quickly enough and create an 8-yard gain. So, you know, these are things that good running back play could do for you. More 12 going to send a receiver motion. I have Bobo kind of insert with that Puka Nakua type of movement.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Run it back. Do it again.
Good my God. Goodness.
Coach, I got
one
him.
More time.
Coach, don't worry about it. I got him, Coach.
Oh Lord,
I got him, Coach. Never mind.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, I wonder how I got here. I woke up this morning thinking I was gonna have a normal day, and you wonder how.
You know that? Yeah, TikTok and I said, "Yep, that's me."
At it again.
I bet you wonder how I got here.
Let me show you how I started my day. Today was a normal day, you know, just gonna walk in the park.
It's the way he looked back, like
I missed him,
bro.
He like, I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know he was like that. I know he was getting cooked in film when he watched it.
Bro, listen.
Just a little
break your feet down, son. God,
let's square up and get to dancing, man. Right?
Come on. That is
left. Let me see you dance. Right. Left. Let me see you dance. Yeah, that's the highlight reel right there for Kenneth Walker. Shaking Omar Spates out of his shoes. I'm pretty sure that shoe is still on Lumen's field.
I remember watching that in real time, and I was like, I had to run that back.
Bro, that clip was viral the minute he did that, bro. And it was against the Rams too, which made it even better. So, and it's funny because like one of the trainers that Kenny Walker works with, his name is Jay Hicks on Instagram. Y'all haven't seen him. He worked with all the running backs. He literally showed that clip for clip, frame by frame, and he did that juke. They worked on that a whole session, and it was beautiful to see of like him apply the work he did in the offseason to then. Because I knew Kenny Walker was nice. I ain't never seen him do nothing like that until last year. That's probably the first time I seen him really break somebody's ankle. So that was impressive.
Mm-hmm. This is some of the aspect, you know, you get impression that pressing that front side outside zone, outside the out of shotgun. There it is. You'd say maybe there's a cutback ability, but he's still got guys pressing him there, and not as easy. Still ends up shaking him. The offensive lineman kind of gets in the way ultimately, but only for 2 yards there.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to really watch him, especially run behind our interior, Creed and Trey and Kingsley. Watching those guys open up things for him and seeing what he can do, and then especially just having the type of quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, you know, that a lot of the teams have to game plan for as well. Not saying the teams didn't game plan for Sam Darnold either, but you know, to go from now, you know, who I think is a guy that's a very serviceable, capable quarterback, to now playing with obviously the best quarterback in the league. Your eyes got to be lighting up to get here to KC and see what you can do in this offense. Even his negative games,
they look good.
They look good compared to what we've been used to.
Yeah.
And again, it's important to say again, if we managed to have one of the highest efficiency success rate wise running games in the National Football League with bottom 3 running back room play, which is to say some of the inefficiencies that exist in Kenneth Walker's game due to it will be mitigated here, in my opinion, due to the way that we can run the ball even better, in my personal opinion, as far as the scheme is designed, the offensive line talent, the fact that we run into light boxes, and hopefully the coaching that EB and DeMarco Murray brings to the table as well.
Yeah.
But again, another good example of some really good patience, senses that obviously the left side is not necessarily going to get the job done, cuts it over to the right, allows the double team block to clear out that 3 tech, ultimately gets into the second level for a 10+ yard gain. And it's a little bit harder to see from this angle, just that patience aspect of it. Actually, I'm going to, if I could quickly get into the sideline view, because I think that'll actually even highlight the point a little bit even more. The ability to understand when to make your move and not do it too early, I think is a big key to this. And there's a cluster there up around the B gap in the middle of this play that ultimately is going to, I should say both A gaps is ultimately going to form. But it's this double team with the center and right guard that you'll see is starting to displace the line of scrimmage. So he just kind of presses it, takes his time, and then eventually it clears out and he's able to get the job done and get to that second level.
Yeah, we all are, Max.
We are forever grateful.
Yeah, we're all ready to see a good run game here. That's what I was telling people, is that you haven't seen this level of explosiveness since Jamal was in this offense, pretty much.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not no fashion form about trying to compare Kenneth Walker and put him in the same kind of shoes, but you just haven't had that, and surprising that, you know, you've been so successful without having that type of weapon in the backfield. To now add that type of weapon in the backfield, I think only expands what this offense can do moving forward, you know, especially now having him for the next 3 years and seeing where he goes from here. So.
And good job, you know, cutting that back up, seeing that things were getting pressed for front side a little bit too much. And let's go ahead and cut it back up and get some positive yardage there.
Uh-huh.
Under center 13 personnel. Wide receiver coming in motion on that fly sweep.
Little slice back. Okay. Ooh.
Got a man in his face, but still, honestly, being able to fall forward, getting 3 yards there.
We love it back who falls forward.
Space, he almost got you again, Bucko.
Let's dance.
Bucko. Honestly, you got Spates there too if Verse didn't hold on.
Space want to get put on this highlight reel.
Bobo with the insert again. Again, an example, good vision, good cutability, and then just the patience. We see, hey, we're just pressing, see where it comes open, and we can go ahead and try and accelerate through it. Rams coming out with the 5 front, 12 personnel.
Zone again.
Yep. Shakes off Fist, who did a really good job in positioning wise to make sure he shut off that front side there quickly. Takes care of that left tackle cross there and is there, but you know, Kenneth Walker runs through the arm tackle, spins off of it, gets 6 yards, ultimately finishes the play.
I think one thing that I think he kind of doesn't get credit for is, I know a lot of people see like the explosiveness, the wiggle, things of that nature. He runs violently through tackles as well too. I think he's willing to get dirty and and take on some contact. I know that Charbonnet was more of the power back for them, but I really think that here he could still be a guy that has double-digit rushing touchdowns, especially with his vision.
Yeah, absolutely. So last thing we're going to take a look at is just a little bit of the receptions. Just to give you a flavor of some of the ways that he was being used out of the backfield. during the playoffs specifically. And again, you're talking about a guy that is not a difference maker, not a guy that you're necessarily just going to split out and be able to run routes out of the slot, but he can absolutely take advantage of screens and the space created to the flat way better than necessarily anybody that we had previously. And he can do a little bit of those running back routes, the standard running back routes out of the backfield. He's comfortable catching and turning, making things happen as he did right there pretty quickly off that little comeback. Or I should say sit down in the middle of the field. And quick reload.
Reload.
He hit another one.
Or Vinny got 3 of them things. Vinny going crazy.
He hit another one?
Yes.
Vinny got 3 homers tonight, bro.
Goodness. I think they're scoring too much. I think USA is going to stick in it. I got a little screen pass here. Makes 2-man miss. Turns it into a 6-yard gain. Again, these two guys with pretty much any running backs that the Chiefs had last year. I mean, this is a significant loss as far as this is concerned when you get him kind of right there and kind of just makes those two guys miss, accelerates up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a different element, man, to have a guy that, like I said, with the type of wiggle and agility that he has in your backfield, and bringing this element of being able to make plays like this, receiving wise. I already know that first like wheel route or kind of up and out route that Pat throws to him. I already know his eyes are gonna light up.
So the Niners, Niners going to show a little simulated pressure at the top of the screen, but the linebacker is supposed to kind of fake and then drop out, and so it ends up turning just into 4. But they instead run a little wide receiver pick wheel to get Kenneth Walker on a nice job. And this is, I think that's Cup. It's probably
Yes,
it's Cup. Because Cup's a veteran, he's going to do the right thing. He does a good job picking a linebacker, gets Kenneth Walker out on the wheel route, and again, when you got his acceleration, you can be able to do those sorts of things. Nice little catch on the run, get you 15 yards as well. Well designed play by Kubiak, and also good execution on the catch by Walker. That's the first 3 home run game in the history of WBC, by the way.
Talking to that guy, bro, before today, he was trash. He been struggling, boy. Talking about breaking out a slump. My goodness.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Appreciate Tim Yelly, man.
Now come back to KC. We done with that. You could be Jim.
Play action, getting out to the flat for a screen pass, and room to run in front of him to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Good. I think earlier in the game against the Rams, he broke a one for a touchdown on them for one of those plays.
Screen.
Yeah,
get Bert.
Yeah, but I think with our line's athleticism, the way Kingsley and Trey and some of those guys can get out in open space, I know he's gonna love running screens behind those guys and being able to get some open lanes and seeing what he can do with his explosiveness.
Yeah, no screen pass, getting out, being able to get the job done there. It's not like the Rams are completely busting these. I mean, they're doing a pretty solid job at being able to send guys to them, but he's accelerating and get the job done quicker than they can.
Yeah, and that's something like I said, it's an element you haven't had. A guy that just really can put his foot in the ground and get vertical really quickly.
Nice little out route there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
remember that play. That was the one he cashed me out on my parlay for.
So appreciate it.
A little quick 7-yard out. Get into the sticks there quickly there as well on the edge. Good play by Walker.
Stabbed his head around.
Hey, again, looked very comfortable being able to catch the ball on the run there. Quick transition. play action into the flat, makes a man miss, makes another man miss, makes third man miss.
Here you go, K9.
Creates 15 yards. Again, look, these are just the advantages to be able to create yards where they don't necessarily exist because of his running ability, and in this case, the catching ability. But quick transition, and again, it's him versus a defensive end, so you hope that he takes advantage of it. But catches it, immediately says, you shake him off again with the strength, the counterbalance, and then also the acceleration. Get space and get space in space. And shakes him as well. And then Landman also going to get juked out, and he runs through that arm tackle and finishes again very well. So, hey, man, that's, again, creating yards where they don't exist.
Find a way.
Look, man, Space is having a tough game. Tough outing for him.
Let me go to the Super Bowl. Get Kenneth Walker out there on a little sit route real quick, 6 yards. Makes the man miss. Fighting for every inch.
Yeah, I think this was arguably probably his best game of the year. I think he said it was his best game of the year, yeah, for the biggest moment. So this goes to show you that he's not, the lights aren't ever too bright for him, especially on this type of stage. So
I love it.
Yeah, you always wonder how. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go.
And I was gonna say, you always wonder how certain players are going to respond to big pressure moments, and obviously, it's a place where the Chiefs want to be back into. But now we this is a guy that you're not necessarily going to worry about. He's been there, he's now done that, and certainly showed up big time when he was asked to. And this was the screen pass in the Super Bowl. And again, you see that there are bodies around him. There are angles to be had, but ultimately, because of his acceleration, he's going to run away from some of these guys. You see just when he catches his ball, he's got a man here, he's got some help on the inside coming back. There's another guy here with a blocker in between. Guy from the inside is ultimately going to get close, but he just runs away from him. He's not the only one. Another guy with a pursuit angle from the backside, run away from him. DB coming from depth, run away from him and get pushed out of bounds. So that's just what he could bring to the table.
Get out.
Excuse me.
Let's get out there.
So that's kind of the Kenneth Walker experience. And again, I chose specifically two harder defensive matchups, two of the hardest defensive matchups from a run defense perspective, just so we wanted to go ahead and give that flavor as far as that is concerned. But Kenneth Walker, for what exactly he's going to be doing here, the explosive runs is really the biggest thing. That's the thing that we need to see improve upon, and that's the thing that ideally we're going to see a lot more specifically here in Kansas City as well. So that'll wrap up as far as Kenneth Walker is concerned. Of course, he was not the only signing that the Chiefs ended up making. They also got Khyiris, I should say. How do you say his first name?
I think it's Khyiris.
Khyiris.
Tonga,
yeah. Khyiris Tonga. Nose tackle, 335.
We're just gonna go with Tonga. Let's just go with that. Can't get it wrong. Can't get that one wrong.
335 pounds, signed for a 3-year, $21 million deal, $14 million of that guaranteed. And massive signing, in my opinion. Not in actual mass, but I think it's a massive signing for what the Chiefs need. Tonga is a very big upgrade over the early down run stuffing that you've seen from guys like Darren Noddy, who got signed by the Colts today, and Mike Pennell, for the fact of what he brings to the table. Tonga, to be able to run stuff, he can two gap if you ask him to. Certainly can be able to have a little bit of power displacement and being able to do that aspect too, and be able to still finish plays too. and which we'll get into. And then also still being able to give you a little bit of pass rush juice, which is huge for some of the early down stuff. It's not necessarily, hey, we're just only putting a run stuffer out there like a Nadi or Pinnell. These guys can also bring, Tonga specifically can also bring some other stuff. And they need to be able to get Omar Norman back to his normal weight, allow him to be an interior disruptor, be explosive like he was in college, and he can play next to Tonga because of what Tonga does. This will take a little bit of weight, pressure, I should say, off of Chris Jones, and that's before the draft as far as the interior defensive line. What are your Tonga thoughts, guys?
Explosive, violent, very athletic for his size. Like you say, it was 330. That's a big boy, moving with that much mass, moving that much force at a time. So I think this is kind of like your, I guess for a Chiefs perspective, like a Tershawn Wharton replacement. That athletic guy that can play next to Omar, guy that can play next to Chris. You can play him in rundowns. You can play him on pass downs as well. He has enough juice to do that. So I like the deal. I like the age as well on him. He played well for New England. Like I mentioned earlier, they had one of the best run defenses in the league, and we haven't really had a hard time stopping the run. That's been one of the calling cards for Spags since he's got here. But you add a guy like that who can't stop the run but can also add a little juice to your pass rush. DMac just kind of said it for me. It kind of makes Omar's job a lot easier now. Now he can go back to his original weight, go back to his original game plan, which is to sack and rush the quarterback, and we give Chris more reps off, more time off as well. So it kind of checks all your boxes across the board. And a little extra nugget, he can do fullback plays. He did that a lot when he was in New England. So you have another tool that Andy can use on the goal line. Y'all know how he gets. So no, he kind of checks all the boxes for us. The age, explosiveness, stops the run. He's played well. Obviously, another guy played big in big moments in the Super Bowl playing for New England. So, and he got coached by a guy like Mike Vrabel, so you know he's been coached the right way. So I'm sure Joe Cullen's going to love everything about him. And Chris endorsed him as soon as he got signed. He's the dog. So just kind of checking all the boxes for us.
Did you?
Yeah. What I see from him is that he brings a lot of grit, a lot of toughness to the interior part of the line, but also with his the ability to have that pass rush kind of upside and not necessarily have to take him off on a third down or anything like that. Obviously, he'll probably be playing more early downs and things of that nature just because his run defending ability. But what I love was the amount of pressures that he was getting from that interior. I think that's something that obviously will make Chris Jones' life a lot easier, something that will make Omar Norman Lott's life a lot easier playing next to him. And then, watching him play fullback was special as well too. I know Andy Reid is obviously salivating at what he can do at the goal line and things of that nature. So definitely excited to see what he does here. And I also love the deal that Breivich obviously was able to get him for. Didn't have to go spend, buku dollars on an interior guy. Veach always has a way of bringing in these guys that, fly kind of underneath the radar, and then they end up being, really great picks. Alluding to what kind of CJ kind of said with the Tershawn Wharton thing, a guy that was undrafted that nobody really knew about and came in and made a huge impact for this defensive line and what we were able to do. So we've seen Veach go this route before with the athletic defensive tackles. And I think that's ultimately what he wanted to bring back to this defense with this signing here. So glad he's here. I always say you can never have too many Samoans on your team.
Never have too many Samoans.
We got 3 of them now.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did give my thoughts and how it's important as far as that's concerned. I wanted to give a little bit of comparison, just to show the difference of what you were dealing with last year. And I feel bad for picking on him, but it is reality. And Derek Nadi, compared to what Tonga is going to bring to the table. And the first thing is just the mass and the ability to not be displaced. First and foremost, you're going to see, obviously, Derek Nadi takes a false step, and then they pretty easily take him out of the field with that quick double team, opens up the hole for Saquon to go ahead and get in there for the touchdown. And see versus the Giants, again, another double team, not able to hold up at the point of attack, gets pushed out of the way. Cam Skytaboo right up the middle, being able to take advantage of that hole as well.
DMac about to cook Nadi for the next 30 seconds.
It's very quick, and I'm showing it for comparison.
See, low-key enjoying this. Y'all see the smirk?
I'm not enjoying
Man, the fall off was
DMac
just,
is the captain, ain't Derek Knight.
I'm not. I
it was
promise.
incredible, man. Like just to see, because when Naughty first came in,
off the ball.
Naughty first came in, he was obviously a very good serviceable run defender,
Oh,
probably one of
yeah.
the better run defenders in the league. Obviously, he brought you no pass rush upside, but bro, this year he was terrible.
So
Right,
then
every
this other
double
one,
team. Oh my
this
goodness.
other one, and I think this is going to be the last one that I end up showing because it sounded better in my mind of where I was going to set this up, but now I feel bad. Derek Knight having the center climb to him there, or I guess that's a left guard. I'm sorry, having the left guard climb to him, and getting displaced, but he does get to the right side of it, but because he's able to get to the right of Christian Mahogany, the issue being he just doesn't have the lateral agility anymore, specifically to be able to get off of that block and be able to get on David Montgomery.
Exactly. It's too late at that point.
I think that was the only one that I want to show. Oh, okay. Then I'll come back to this one in a second. So that's kind of the big things. But on the contrary, Tonga, who's at number 95 here, lined up over the right guard, he does bring that ability. So he's going to be able to swim, get Jackson Powers Johnson in a bad position, and then push him back with his weight and his ability with that power, and then also disengage because of his lateral agility and be able to bring 3 down to the ground. I don't even know who number 3 is. Who is that?
Well, it was Zamir White.
Is that Zamir White? Yeah, that's Zamir White. But again, that just in and of itself, an example of quick swim off the ball to be able to put Jackson Powers Johnson in a bad place. Then he's going to displace him with the power, put your shoulder into him, and the lateral agility to get to the other side and be able to finish with a run stuff. So that all 3 of those things right there is the exact opposite.
That's how you beat a double team right there. So.
And then here we're going to get it. Quick double team. Well, you got to stick on that double team because Tonga otherwise is going to take advantage of it. Shoves him aside, gets to the gap, helps out on the run stuff. Again, that and the other thing about it, for as big as he is, that motor runs hot. And it's very impressive, and it's a very great, it's a good quality to have. But again, one-on-one block, displace the guy, be able to push him all the way back, change the line of scrimmage as far as where it goes into the backfield, creates the run stuff. And then this is a little bit of the lateral agility as far as that's concerned. Stop it, be able to get off the block, and get to it. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's see what Chuck's talking about. Okay. Are we sure we're good? All right, we're good. Sorry, just wanted to make sure. We're having some technical difficulties.
NFL Pro don't like us today.
I don't know if it's NFL Pro or it's StreamYard is having its issues in general too. But
you're talking about with Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's down for everybody.
Yeah. But the other thing, again, and this one, obviously, you could see is in the AFC Championship game. Tonga in the middle. Displacing the line of scrimmage, keep pushing it back. You want to run outside zone. We're not going to allow you to do so. Push them all the way back into the backfield, gets the run stuff by himself. So, again, just that example of the power that Tonga is playing with, ability to displace blocks, move the line of scrimmage, and then also the lateral agility to get offset blocks and be able to make the plays. Night and day difference from early down run stuffs. And then I'm going to go back to be able to show just some aspects of this on the early downs, which I think is the big thing too. We're going to take it back to that Chargers Chiefs game from early in the year. And Derek Knight being on those early down runs or those early down snaps isn't there as a run stuffer, and he gives you 0 as a pass rusher. And that's really the big thing. Which again, when you get into the play action kind of things, Justin Herbert has all day because you just don't have any pass rushers out there. And so eventually those guys in the back end is going to find time to be able to get open. And you saw that right there. And then you can get this example later on when they're under center. Derek Knight's there at the nose tackle position. They're going to run tight end on that crackback motion. They're going to fake the B gap run as far as that is concerned. Got a double team Derek Knight, and Derek Knight ends up on the floor. And Justin Herbert doesn't have any type of pressure on him as far as that's concerned. Completes the line McConkey. On the other side, Tonga had, I think it was a 15% win rate, would have been second behind Chris Jones amongst the interior defensive linemen for the Chiefs last year. and he can win one-on-one blocks when he needs to. Gets a little swim move for some pressure on Tua Tagovailoa. You're going to see that he has a swim move. He gets off the ball very quickly, does have a nice first step for a guy his size, and the power is real. He can just run through guys because he is that big. And again, when you're talking about, hey, they're going to be double teaming Chris Jones on early downs. They're going to be double teaming Omar Normalat on early downs because of the pass protection to make sure those guys don't beat you. Well, you get one-on-ones where Tonga is just going to be able to run guys over. That does help a tremendous amount too. And I think one thing that I want to see more of this season, those twists and stunts, because he is so big and laterally agile, he's a wrecking ball. So he can both free up other guys, but also be able to get to the quarterback too in those stunts and games. I want to see more of those two moving forward.
Go ahead, keep fighting, keep digging.
Yeah, again, like I said, that motor does run hot. It's not a, hey, we're taking plays off because I'm big. It's I'm gonna keep being relentless and being able to get things done. And you see obviously how he ends up getting that sack. Good example. Hey, we're gonna fake to the inside, get to the outside. I'm gonna take care of the tackle. We pick off the right guard and the running back. You're gonna get free, but I know that my job is not done just because I was able to execute the stunt well. Let's keep going. Let's add to it. I'm gonna be able to get CJ Stroud on the ground. So again, the motor always runs hot, and that applies to the run in the pass, but also the fact that he has those specific skills for the early down run stuffing nose tackle job to add necessarily the pass rush aspect to it is a big thing. So I love the Tonga signing. I was extremely excited when I saw it, and I understand why he was prioritized, specifically because of the impact that he can have for the defensive line, even despite the fact that they didn't add to the edge room yet. Because of how much things are just exploding in that aspect. Anything else for Khyiris Tonga?
Checks all the boxes for me, and he's young. I like it.
Yeah,
No,
I like it.
nice
Great pick, great signing.
Yeah. So let's hit on Alohi Gilman. We'll get into a film room for him a little bit later on. Added from the Ravens, traded from the Chargers last year midway, really stabilized the Ravens defense for their 3 safety sets, allowed them to be more dynamic with Kyle Hamilton. I think you want to see Steve Spagnuolo get back to those 3 safety sets and the ability to have versatility there. Gilman is a guy that can play box, can play split, can play free, and also can give you a little bit of nickel snaps. I wouldn't say often, that's just me personally, but he can give you that every once in a while. And he has experience. He's 28 years old, so he's not over the hill by any means, but does have experience in multiple type of schemes, rotations that will be utilized as well, which is key in my opinion for what this defense wants to look like and being able to learn from Spags. So I'm happy with the Gilman signing. Gives you a starting safety next to Hicks at the very least. We'll talk about the rest of the defense as it currently stands, but I was in favor of that Gilman signing for 3 years. How do you guys feel about the Gilman?
Great. Well, I won't say it.
Compared to the B Cook deal, it's a steal.
Yeah.
Price wise, I think he's like 15 mil cheaper.
Save somebody.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, similar type player for a cheaper deal.
Very solid sign.
Yeah, can't be mad about that. And we've seen him before. He's been in our division. Played for the Chargers, so played for the Ravens, that we're very familiar with this game, obviously. So slightly better in coverage, in my opinion, than B Cook. Gets his hand on the football a lot more, so turnovers wise, which we need. So I like it. Get a similar type player at a better price. Can't get mad at that.
I love the versatility, being able to kind of play in that deep safety role or come up in the box. Better coverage skills. A guy that I feel like can come in and help this team create some turnovers and get some extra possessions. We've been kind of clamoring for the last 4 years that this defense needs to create more turnovers. And I think that this guy will obviously come in and help with that. It just seems like a true legitimate Spags safety type of guy. A guy that can play all the necessary areas. So I think obviously you love having him in this system because now you'll be able to run some of those 3 safety sets that Spags likes to run without having to overcompensate with putting other guys out of position or anything like that. So excited to see what he does here. I know the Ravens fans loved him when he obviously, went over there in the trade. Obviously helped Kyle Hamilton be able to get back to being able to do what he does best and not having to play him in certain positions where where he's asked to do too much. So definitely love having him here and can't wait to see what he does for us.
Another island boy on the team.
Right.
That's 4 of them now.
Oh, yes, got a Hawaiian out there.
Mhm.
So let's roll through it. We'll keep on going. Travis Kelce and Tyquan Thornton back. Travis Kelce for $12 million. I think,
12
million
Trav.
up to
Yep.
14.
2 for 22 for Tyquan, I believe.
No,
2 for 11.
2 for 11 for
2 for
Tyquan.
11.
Was it?
Yeah,
What
2
was
for 11,
Travis?
sorry.
Was it
1
12?
for 12.
Travis was 1 for 12 up
1
to
for 12.
15.
Oh yeah. I
Up to 15.
Yeah,
That's
1 for
it.
11. Yeah,
Well,
2 for 11. 1
yeah.
for 12. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll say that Travis Kelce being back, I would like to have saved a few more millions, but it is what it is as far as that's concerned. They need him back, especially for how they want to run this offense. There's no two ways about that. I just continue to say they should not be running their offense through a 37-year-old tight end. They have to get multiple. They have to be able to use the wide receivers at a better clip than they did. And people were like, they forced the ball too much to the wide receivers. Yes, but they also didn't use the wide receivers the right way. They didn't have them on the right routes. They didn't set up these things as far as the pass game concepts because of the way that they were running the ball. So they need to make their offense more multiple. They also need to get a blocking tight end so that Travis Kelce's life is a lot easier from that perspective too, so that they can run the ball and the blocking burden doesn't fall on him. And then Travis Kelce could be more efficient with his targets because the entirety of the offense doesn't fall on his shoulders. So that's my only thing as far as Travis Kelce. But I'm happy to be back. That he is back, I should say. He played like a borderline top 5 tight end last year after bouncing back from what was a down 2024. So hopefully he brings the same attitude into this year. It could be a great way to go out on a high note. Hopefully, it's certainly better than last year in it as far as that's concerned. Tyquan Thornton needed to be back, in my personal opinion. You saw the chemistry that he had deep. Hollywood Brown is not expected to be back. I don't think he should be. There's an aspect of him, Jalen Royals, Xavier Worthy, and the question mark of Rashid Rice that you can kind of make out a wide receiver room as it currently stands, in my personal opinion. Tyquan Thornton's deep threat ability then frees up Xavier Worthy to do other things and be a guy you can move around and use accordingly, and more so, hopefully, in the intermediate areas too. But happy Tyquan's back. Honestly, the fact that somebody went out and gave, I think it was Alec Pierce, $29 million, and I got Tyquan Thornton for 5.5. I'm very happy as far as that is concerned. That's just me. Give your thoughts about Travis Kelce and Tyquan Thornton.
Nah, man, love the Yeti being back. Once again, I didn't really expect him to go anywhere else. It was either
we were in the mix, guys.
Yeah, it was either this or I think he was ultimately probably going to retire. He said his own self. There's no other uniform I think he ever wants to wear other than Chiefs. So definitely glad to have him back. I think a little pricey with the money a little bit, but obviously paying a guy who's been a generational talent. What he brings, what he means to this franchise. I think Reg reaching them, aren't too upset with having to shell out a couple extra dollars to have 87 here and to have it be his, ultimately was probably going to end up being his last ride with us. Like you said, played at the top 5 tight end level. Still think he's arguably one of the best tight ends in this game, if not the best at this point. We obviously know what Travis is going to be able to bring. Hopefully not going to be the focal point in this offense, but definitely will be a major key contributor, especially if you're one of those situations where you get to the playoffs and we all know what Trav does when he gets to the playoffs. Tyquan as well. Hopefully this means that his role is going to be expanded this year. Hopefully it doesn't mean that they treat him how they treated him last year, where early on he was getting the ball a lot and then it kind of fizzled out towards the end of the year. So it obviously tells me that Brett Veach, he believes him. I just wonder if Andy and staff believe in Tyquan Thornton. So, but yeah, it brings a deep threat to this team. A little bit of size as well too, and a guy who's also probably willing to play special teams for you at points in time. So, I think Tyquan I really think he could have got more if he would have went somewhere else. But I think he just loved being here and loved being a part of his organization. Obviously, loved playing with Patrick Mahomes. So, the reunion for that signing was obviously fitting. So, I'm glad to see Tyquan return.
No, yeah, I agree. The Tyquan deal made all the sense in the world. Nobody wanted to see him go, so that would have been one of the first signings I would have loved to see. So glad we got that done and off the board. Role definitely needs to be expanded. Almost every time him and Pat connected, it was definitely for a big play. He was one of the best deep ball receivers in the league this year. So, and given the lesser amount of targets he got compared to Alec Pierce, like DMac said, that's a similar type of player for a fraction of the price. So I think that's a great value for what he does for this offense. And hopefully we get to see more of that this year. And he showed versatility being able to play in the slot. So a guy that showed you he's not just an outside receiver. He can play anywhere on the field. And Kelce, I mean, he's the GOAT, man. After this, the last dance, the last ride. So go out with a bang. Never saw him anywhere else other than a Chiefs uniform. So didn't show any signs of slowing down. Played like a top 5 tight end last year. Blocked well, caught the ball well, even with all the issues we had in our receiver room going on. He was very consistent and been that way his whole career for us. So nothing to be mad about there. I think the biggest thing now is just complimenting these guys and making sure we're getting I would still love to see us get a true X in the draft to make Tyquan's job easier because I love to see guys move around, not stick to one spot. Would love to see us get another blocking tight end like DMac stated earlier to help Trav out as well in the future, or get a tight end who could do both. So there's got multiple guys within our first 3 picks that we can go after as far as receiver or tight end to make those guys' job easier. Or if you want to go hyper-focus and get a DN and get an edge with your first pick as well. I think the picture's kind of cleared up what we need to do at 9 now. We can take running back off the board, signing Kenneth Walker. So as far as Quan and Kelce being back, we need to focus on these guys and how to make their lives easier and try to get some young pillars in our offense for the future. So expect Royals to step up this year. Definitely would love to see a veteran in the room. I know DG's been clamoring for that, but I think as far as the draft, we need to get guys that we can depend on for years to come because this will be Kelce's last year. So a lot of tight ends in this draft that I like, some good X's I like in this draft. So if we can come away with one of those 2 options after the first or second round, I would be super excited. But no, Kelce and Quan being back were kind of like the obvious ones for me. So I'd definitely love to have them back. Now we just need to get more pieces around them so they could truly be themselves.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just general thoughts. They've got more work to do. Certainly, like you said, getting the top 3 wide receiver as far as the depth chart is concerned in the draft, ideally within the first 2 days of the draft, of course, which will be live streaming here on KingdomCast as long as StreamYard decides to act right.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Oh man, I just thought about it. We're not going to be able to do playback for it, so we're gonna.
They took away playback from us.
I just thought about it
because playback got canceled. Dang.
Yeah, no playback for the draft stream, but we'll have some fun with StreamYard even so. We'll find a way to bring back the draft games and stuff. So real quick, as far as guys that did end up leaving, obviously Trent McDuffie, who we did talk about, was traded to the Rams. Jalen Watson, Leo Chenal, and Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams to the Titans, Leo Chenal to the Commanders, Jalen Watson to the Rams. Jalen Watson got a bag. 7th round pick who's developed here in Kansas City. Obviously, all 3 of these guys are part of that 2022 draft class. Shout out to Jalen Watson for getting that bag, man. That's just an awesome story. Same thing for Leo Chenal, who for the Commanders probably going to end up getting some green dot love. I think that's going to be a possibility for him in their attacking scheme. I think it's going to be fun to see how they want to utilize him next to Frankie Louvu. And then Joshua Williams added to the cornerback depth in Tennessee, who definitely needs it too. So I'll say for me, I'm okay with for Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams moving on. I really wanted to bring Leo Chenal back.
Same.
I've made no bones about it. I think that they should have cut Drew Tranquil, saved that $6 million, added another $2 million on it, given it to Leo Chenal. Jeffrey Boss is the Will, Nick is the Mike, and then Leo Chenal's back as Sam. That's not the reality. I think that Drew Tranquil is probably going to be here up until the draft now, and we'll see what ends up happening as far as the draft. And it's a linebacker class that can be drafted as far as the Chiefs are concerned. Just been a little bit better if it was a luxury selection than necessarily more specific. And it's not easy to find that Sam role as far as that aspect. So I wish Leo Chenal was back. I would have cut Drew Tranquil to make that happen. Chiefs decided to go a different way as far as that's concerned. You guys got anything as far as these 3 guys that have moved on?
Yeah. I will say for Jalen Watson's aspect, very proud of him, man. For a guy that was at one point flipping burgers at Wendy's.
To
go from that to a 7th round pick to winning 2 rings to now having
millions of dollars.
$51 million in the bank. You couldn't script it any better for a guy like that to go from nothing to turning himself into something. Worked hard, put his head down, and really deserves it. Deserves it, every penny of it. And then happy to also see him be able to join a teammate and then Trent McDuffie out in LA. Can't wait to see what those guys do for that organization as well. Rams definitely got two guys that are capable winners and know what it takes to get to the mountaintop. Leo Chenal was pissed, man. I really wanted Leo back. And I
Me
thought
too,
he should have been.
He
here.
got 3 for 24.
Yeah.
That's such a reasonable deal.
It's just one of those times, one of those rare times where I'm kind of upset with how Veach approached that situation. And I agree with you, DMac. I think that obviously, I think Drew Tranquil should have got the boot, and you should have kept the younger player here. But it is what it is, man. Obviously wishing Leo all the best. Washington Commanders definitely got a guy who I think when he was here was underutilized, in my opinion, by Spags. So hopefully they find a great role for him up there in Washington, and he can be able to expand his game up there. So excited to see what he's able to do for them too. And then Josh Williams as well too, the really infectious attitude that he had, man. Probably one of the funniest guys this organization has ever seen. Definitely gonna miss seeing his smile around the city, and especially at training camp. And
He always showed love. Sure.
Yeah, very nice guy, man. So happy for him, to find that second contract. The whole 22 class, man. Really, all those guys getting paid.
All of them.
Brian Cook as well too, throwing him in there as well too, getting the bag and going back home to Cincinnati and being able to elevate and change, lifestyles for his family. So couldn't happen to a better group of guys, man. Proud of all those guys. They came in as rookies and helped us do something special, and they deserve all of it, man. So hopefully they all stay healthy and all give their organizations everything that they were able to give us.
No, for sure. Whole 22 class is going to go down as one of the best ever, if not the best ever, draft class in Chiefs Kingdom history for sure. From Najee to J. Watt to Josh to Trent to B. Cook to Pacheco. George is probably the only lone man standing, to Leo. Everybody in that class had a part as far as us getting to this where now and building this dynasty that the Chiefs Kingdom has created. So we're forever indebted to them. We met a lot of these guys in person. Obviously, we interacted with them a lot on the field at games and during training camp. So these guys were amazing players, but even better people. So definitely sad to see a lot of those guys go, but they'll forever be embedded in Chiefs Kingdom history for sure. As far as money-wise, definitely would have loved to see Leo stay. Definitely thought that was 3 for 24 was a very affordable deal. I thought that was kind of like a no-brainer. I always thought he was going to come back, so I was definitely sad to see him go. Love Drew Tranquil to death. He's had some great moments for us, but I think his time needs to end personally. Love him as a person, as a player, but I think it's time to move on from that one. So, yeah, that was the one that kind of – all the other ones kind of made sense. J. Watt's deal, he had a career year. I fully expected him to get paid. I'm not surprised by the team that did it, the Rams, who excessive tried to fix their issue being the cornerback room. So getting guys like Trent and J. Watt to come there, and Tennessee grabbed Malik Herring today and grabbed Josh Williams. Borgonzi's making a lot of moves, former Chiefs as well. So, and then obviously the Commanders signing Leo Chenal and Charles Omenihu today as well. So a lot of our guys who helped us win a lot of games, playing some big moments, are getting their opportunities to extend their careers, man. So can never be upset about that at all. B. Cook gets to go back home, gets to go back to Cincinnati, so that's good for him as well. So guys are definitely going to extend their careers, and whenever they're back in the city, you're always going to show them love and respect. So shout out to Pacheco, gets to play with a great offensive line and a great running back room, and him and Gibbs. So I think a lot of guys are put in position to succeed once they leave the kingdom. So definitely sad to see some of them go. Would have loved to see them stay, but that's the business. So Beach has done a great job, and the 21-22 classes have been pillars for us, and now it's time to see if we can do it again. And that's the job of a GM. That's the job of an organization. Can you win, but can you sustain success? And the greatest threat to success is being complacent. And that's the biggest thing I've said And we all three have been saying it the whole last 2 or 3 years. If you don't make real change, I don't care about you making mistakes. That's going to happen. That's inevitable. As a coach or a GM or a player, what are you going to do to fix it? And I think so far we're off to a great point this offseason, making the necessary adjustments, and we'll see if we can finish the job here next month in April.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's those three guys, and obviously there are some holes to fill as far as that's concerned. So I want to quickly be able to kind of go through that with you guys as far as the remaining defensive free agents, because we didn't even get a chance to really go through it by the time the timing ended up working.
Most of the guys we want then got picked over.
Yes. So edge for me, Abiketti as a designated pass rusher makes sense. Cam Jordan, also for me, Cam Jordan and Jadeveon Clowney are the two kind of I would say veteran guys that can be rotational edges as far as that's concerned. DG, you want to quickly say why you like AJ Epinesa, and then CJ, whoever anybody you want to point out on this list?
Yeah, Epinesa is a guy who I feel like would come in and fit the kind of the edge role that Steve Spagnuolo loves to play with. Younger guy, I think when I always look at these things for Brett Veach, it's always kind of a guy that wants that he wants to get that's under that age range of 30 that he likes to pay. So a guy that's still sitting out there, I think that's very, to me, is very affordable. Not a real flashy guy as far as the sack numbers or anything like that, but has had some years where he's had 7, 6, and then this last year was kind of a down year for him, only having 3 sacks. But I think that was only because he didn't start as much for the Buffalo. So would love to bring him in. I think very versatile as far as what he can be able to do.
Definitely got the arm length.
Yeah, definitely has the arm length and great size out there on the edge for them. So that's who I would target. Also, I just looked at this now too. Joey Bosa's still out there. I know the injury history sucks, but
yeah, I wonder because of the year that he just had, if he's asking for a little bit too much.
Yeah,
but I would also be willing to break him in. It's a veteran rotational guy.
Yeah, I think it'd be something that, a guy who's definitely. But at this point, man, the edge market is where it's at. You're not, you can't really be picky at this point. So, I've seen a lot of people talking about Cam Jordan on the timeline as well too today. I know he had 10.5 sacks. I just don't love the age. I think each year that you go in this league and you get older, I never want to get older. I only want to either stay young or stay at a certain point where guys aren't getting too old on you.
Do you want to live forever? Sorry.
Right.
This list is disgusting. Not that many. I mean, I always liked Derek Barnett coming out of Everett when he came out of college, and he played really well for Houston this year, especially defending the run and setting the edge. Sack numbers were pretty decent. I mean, obviously he's had a decent career from Philly to Houston. Never really been a high sack guy, but I thought he would be cheap, and he kind of fits our age range. He's under 30. I mean, most of these other guys I don't even want to touch. Like Dante Fowler's 31. Hassan Reddick, God, he had so much hype 3 years ago. He's 31 as well. Clowney, we've been chasing him for years. Cam Jordan is as old as me indeed. Yeah, Emmanuel Ogba, Chiefs legend, psych. This list
it's a bad list. I know some people say Josh Paschal. He's a run stuffer, and I don't think that's what you need to add. I think guys like Cam Jordan, even Jadeveon Clowney, I think bring more legit pass rush ability, even though they're maybe even slanted a little bit more to the run stuffing aspect of it.
What'd
you say?
I would take Abiketti.
Well. Yeah, he's probably the best.
He's the best. He's the best pure pass rusher left on the board. And he can make sense as a designated pass rusher. I don't know if they want to shop in that range. We'll see. But that's the thing for me. Just we need a rotational edge before we go into the draft, and we're taking an edge in the top 40 picks. 9, 29, 40, or it trades.
That's your 2 right there.
Yeah, so that'll be able to fill out that edge room, in my personal opinion. I will say this really quickly. Hopefully I can bring it up quickly enough. If you ask one Mr. Chris Jones, who he prefers, of course,
We all know who he prefers.
seems like he prefers Cam Jordan. So take that for what it is.
He can play. He's older than Chris. You just said it. 10 sacks at 35. I mean, a lot of those were incentive-based sacks. DG, which I respect him for that as well. But if he did get signed, it would be an incentive-based deal. So he can still get to the quarterback. Like I said, if it's a vet minimum type deal, I'm not against it. We need all the help we can get. You can never have enough D linemen. You can never have enough edge rushers. So if it's an affordable deal, that's like one that's like you could do that one whenever. I was talking about a guy that's younger, that guy that can be here for multiple years. So if they brought in Cam Jordan, I don't think none of us would be upset about it. So
see anybody from the linebacker list that really stands out, given the fact where the Chiefs are at currently. I mean, in theory, you could play Drew at the Sam. I don't think that's a good idea, but they in theory.
Kenneth Murray's only 27. He's been in the league forever.
Yes, yes.
I mean, guys, I wish this was pre Achilles injury Dre Greenlaw, because I would definitely
for sure.
He'd
be 1-on-1 on the market. If Devin White could still run, I love him as a third linebacker.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jermaine Pratt a couple years ago would have been nice as well too, but
before the MVS game, he lost some cool points for me.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Every time I see his name, that's the only thing I think.
It's got to come up every single time. Oh, that's a good one. I will point this one out. If you want to take a shot on a possible Sam type of replacement, Jack Sanborn, I think, does fit that bill. And I'm not pointing to Jack Cochran. Please get Jack Cochran off my screen. Jack Sanborn, and he is young. So if you want to try and do that, I can understand that. Athleticism, young guy. I can understand a Jack Sanborn signing. But other than that, I'm be honest with you guys, none of these guys are standing out for me.
Shit's nasty, bro. Yeah. Man, Milano shouldn't be on nobody.
The same way with the corners, too.
The defense is just free agency overall class.
Corners, I think there's some things to be had here. There's the older kind of, hey, we just need cornerback depth market, which again, you talk about dirt cheap guys. I know they have the values next to them. I'm not paying Marshawn Lattimore or Trevon Diggs $7 or $8 million. But if they want to come here for less than $5 million, sure, I'd be willing to do that for more so Marshawn Lattimore than Trevon Diggs. I'm always a buy the dip as far as cornerback position in free agency. You can get a lot of value. So Marshawn Lattimore for $5 million or less incentive deal, I would be willing to do that for cornerback depth. And then you talk about, hey, what are some guys that have a little bit of inside out versatility, which I think is important for where the Chiefs depth chart currently stands, and how
I know he out, but I like Jack Jones. He has inside out versatility, but he ops. I don't like
so much. It's just tough for me. Rasul Douglas, he does to an extent. I'm trying to see. Is he not on here? That's interesting. Roger McCreary also has inside out versatility. Not sure why he's just not on here. The other one I was looking for was Nate Hobbs, and I just haven't seen him. But so Roger McCreary, Nate Hobbs, kind of the two guys that have the ability to play in the nickel as far as cornerback position is concerned. I could see them moving that way or go in the veteran dirt cheap route as far as Marshawn Lattimore or Trayvon Diggs. And any of these guys stand out to you guys?
Jack Jones. I mean, Jonathan Jones has been
the only one I like.
Wait, who'd you say, CJ?
Cam Taylor-Britt sucks. Marshawn Lattimore and Trayvon are both hurt all the time. I'm off them. Dory Jackson, you're awful. Avonte Maddox, Nick McLeod, Chris Lamons, Jimmy Ward is 35. God, Lordy, son.
Yeah, he's been in the league for
get Tre'Davious White off my screen. I don't ever want to see his name again. Jeff Okudah, what the biggest what could have been. My goodness, he's 27. He's still young.
So, it's slim picking.
I'll take that crash out on Jack Jones before I enter these names, bro. This shit nasty. At least I know he can play.
For me, it will probably be. It'll probably be Marshawn Lattimore just on a real prove that you can be healthy type of deal. It'd have to be dirt cheap.
Yeah, all these guys are dirty. None of these guys are getting no real money for sure.
And then we'll finish it up. Anybody in the safety room that interests you?
Not really. I think they kind of addressed that with the Gilman.
Yeah, I'm cool with the Gilman one.
But,
yeah, that's what I want.
I mean, if they want to take a flyer on Jaquan Brisker, I'm down with that.
Yeah, if you want to double down, I ain't never
depending
gonna
on
be
where
mad.
he's a guy that can play in the nickel too. So
if you can get Shamari Carter off the field, I'm with it, son.
It depends on where that market ends up settling. And Nick Scott,
Tony Jefferson.
Tony Jefferson, bro. I remember him in high school, bro. He's still playing football, bro. Shout out to Tony Jefferson.
Shout out to Tony Jefferson. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at as far as the defensive free agents. Slim pickings, but I think we all generally agree where we need to go. Need more cornerback depth. Ideally, somebody that has a nickel versatility to him. Certainly need another edge as far as that is concerned. As far as the targets, and then you see if linebacker can work out. I don't know. Quick later rest. The Max Crosby to the Ravens trade. Sounds like some shady stuff that the Ravens ended up doing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You kept the 2 first-round picks. Said, we're a little cold feet. Injuries don't look good. We're good. We don't want to. We're gonna try.
You said we can get Trey Henderson.
We're gonna get Trey Henderson on the depressed market and said, and he still even signed for 4 years, $112 million, which is kind of nuts to me.
We was trying to get both of them.
We was trying to
get a year per. We can get him.
Yeah, because obviously that's cap plausible. But shout out to the Ravens for backing up on this. I think they got a worse player. That's what it comes down to.
They definitely did, but they just kept their picks. So that's what
they saved their picks, so they're going to say that they came out on the top end of the deal as well. Other thing that I'll ask real quick before we get out of here. Any move from the first week or I guess first 3 days of free agency that stands out to you? Or I would say first move of free agency that stands
Jalen Phillips. Are you talking about us or just in general?
Just in general.
The Jalen Phillips deal was crazy. I know he would get a bag, but
I mean, all of the edge ones.
Yeah, him Owe got paid too. Yeah, it's like, but Jalen to come off an ACL and an Achilles and still get 30, him, bro. Shout out to your agent, bro. Need to go or she, whoever it is.
Yeah,
that was the most shocking deal for me. I expect him to get paid, just not that much.
DG, what about you?
Didn't expect the Alec Pierce deal to be where it
I fully did.
I mean, I had a feeling he was paid, but like, sheesh, that type of money is.
I knew it was 27 to 30, bro.
Insane. Wan'Dale Robinson's deal kind of shocking.
Yeah, Wan'Dale got paid.
But you know, when you're Tennessee, and obviously you gotta overpay to get guys to come there. But it makes sense with having Brian Daboll there as well too. And then the way just the edge market kind of after Jalen Phillips got signed, the way the edge market just kind of boomed. I can kind of see why Veach kind of sat on his hands a little bit.
Said never mind.
Yeah, I'm not paying some of that amount of money to some of these guys. I think it was my boy Mafe, but Kwity Paye getting 3 for 48 was insane. But
Bradley Chubb, the Bradley Chubb deal for the Bills is an insanity as far as I'm concerned.
He got overpaid too. It's like, man, these guys are get your money, but like, God Lord.
Yeah.
But look, I'm intrigued. I'm interested, and I'm excited for what the Chiefs ended up doing on these first few days of free agency, and that'll set the stage for what they do in the draft as well. There are some scenarios that we'll talk about as we get further into it. We'll be recapping more about free agency. Next week, we'll be doing Alohi Gilman's film review as well. And we'll start previewing the prospect aspect of it. And I'm looking forward to it as well. However, I do have one thing to leave you all with, just as a little bit of a quick update from, KC's favorite. Got your boy walking around in the Big 12 tournament out in Kansas City.
Oh, yes.
Walk around pretty good.
No knee brace.
Yeah.
Good to see quarterback run, moving around, no restricted movement, out and about, enjoying some college basketball and the best college basketball tournament, I'd say. And I'm sure you guys agree.
Been good
out there in KC.
Yeah. Definitely the best conference tournament there.
Been good hoops for sure.
Good hoops up and down. But good to see Patrick Mahomes out there moving around and supporting his Texas Tech Red Raiders. So with that being said, we'll be back next week to tell the truth on Tuesday. Kingdom Cast tomorrow night. PMAC on Friday, talking all things free agency as well. We'll be isolating the Kenneth Walker and getting your film review, I should say, and getting that out to YouTube as well. So without further ado, peace out. Go Chiefs.